The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like their match?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
I can literally say this. Good morning, Brigade. How are you? Welcome into, I think this is like the second earliest show we've ever done. It is just past 8 o'clock Pacific time in the morning. It is a little past 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It's a midday show for you East Coasters. It's a morning show for you West Coasters. It's the last show before Thanksgiving in our 3-day break. He is Dave Sharapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. Same on Twitter, X, replayed on Sports Grid TV, replayed on Sirius XM channel 159. Happy Thanksgiving, Dave. It is it's bright and early. Some people like it, some people don't.
Well, that's what makes the world go round. Some people liked the Chargers last night, some didn't. And you get to the window, you get to the show. We're a morning show today for everybody, except our guys down in Australia, which
right.
We love you. Thank you, Seabass and Kyle and everyone else that always shows up. We're good, man. We got to get this done. No one in this house knew that I was doing the show today with you at 8 a.m. Messed up the morning routine beyond belief. And they're like, what do you mean you're doing BVB at 8 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, I got to go.
Sorry.
Okay. Like you figure out your own way to school.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm good, bro. And it was more of a problem with grandma, mama, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, everybody's going to be fine. Everybody relax. I'm going to talk to Perrault for an hour and 40 minutes. And then I said, I'm going to basketball. And she's like, you're what? I'm like, oh, yeah. We're going to spend the afternoon at the MGM watching basketball. And she goes out the door. You call this work? Yeah. Yeah, we're working.
We are working.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Big show today.
A lot of stuff going on. Adam Bjorn, it is a primetime Thursday, Prime Sportsbook today. We'll talk to Adam, Red Hot Adam. He has been picking winners 8 consecutive weeks, 1 or 2-0 for him. So we'll get his play again today to see what he thinks for the weekend.
Well, we don't have, I guarantee he has no idea who's even playing yet this week.
That's good. Because it's Tuesday. So,
maybe he don't even know who's playing. Although if he comes up with something for Thursday, that'd be okay.
Right. Yeah. Or tomorrow or today. The Maui Invitational games, if you didn't watch basketball yesterday, the Maui games were, other than the Michigan State game, which was a complete bore fest, and Michigan State just suffocate Colorado. The rest of them were nuts. Auburn's down 18 to Iowa State, and they rally all the way. Last second buzzer shot. Auburn wins. I laid 3.5 that didn't cover. The over was the easiest bet of the day for my North Carolina play because that game was 92-90. That came way over. I don't know why the play came on the under, but the late money came on the over. That thing closed at 159. All the money late was this boom because people woke up and they realized, oh, wait, these rims are as soft as butter. I can't believe they actually allow it. Watching it on TV, I'm like, nobody says to replace those rims. Nobody says those things are too soft because they really are. So 3 of the 4 games yesterday, I believe, went over. You had a crazy win in an upset of the number 2 team in the country, and jerkface Hurley decides to get himself technically teed up in overtime and burn his team, and Memphis beats UConn, which was great. I've decided my least favorite coaching in all of sports is Dan Hurley. I've decided. Yeah. I really can't stand him. I really can't stand him. Besides it's UConn, so it's the arch rival of UMass. So on top of that, but he's such an insufferable. I'm not going to swear today, but
let's make Will's life easy today.
person. Let's call him a person. Insufferable person. Unbelievable to see him. He tried to claim after the game that he just slipped and fell, that he didn't fall down, because the report is, and I don't know if this is actually true or not, we have not heard confirmation on this, but he called the referee something really, really bad. And the referee said, okay, no more. And they hit him with it because of what he called the referees. And he used the R word. In 2024, you really can't use the R word as a coach. So, so he's now there. It used to be Greg Marshall. Greg Marshall used to be my least favorite person on the planet from a coaching perspective.
Who was that?
Head coach of Wichita State.
Wichita State. Okay. Yeah.
Used to be him. So, and I have personal history with him. So that was justified, but he's out of coaching because he pushed a player and punched a player. So I knew he was a bad guy. He's a bad guy. Hurley's not a bad guy as far as we know, but on the court as a coach, oh my. Oh,
he's intense.
Intense.
He's intense.
Killed his team. He killed his team. You can't kill your team. The coach is like, it's like a doctor. Do no harm. Your coach can't hurt your team. Coach hurt his team yesterday in overtime.
Dear friend of mine, you guys might know him from VEASAN, Matt Humans.
Yes, he was there.
He goes every year. So he didn't go when it was COVID and all that other stuff. But I was texting him last night after the NC and UMass Dayton game.
Yep.
I said, I have to come with you one year.
Right?
Like, we got to go. We got to figure out a way, even if it's just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like, fly out Sunday, get there, hang out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fly home Thanksgiving morning. I don't know. But that looks so much fun. The building's tight. I mean, you are right on top of the court. And the basketball was good.
Good. Basketball is incredible. That's Humus right there. That was his angle. Dan Hurley, obviously a great coach, but also an unbearable crybaby. He's 100% right. Unbearable crybaby. That I saw that. I was like, good for Humans. Good job, Humans. That's exactly what he is. An unbearable crybaby.
So 3 of the 4 games did go over. Way over. I mean, you get 99-97 OT final, 92 to 90. North Carolina was down 21.
Well, you had an 18-point deficit for Auburn, 21-point deficit for UNC, and a 12-point deficit for UConn. The 3 high-ranked teams, 2 of them came back. One of them did not.
Right.
Like, the losers bracket is Iowa State and UConn right now.
Wow.
Number 5, number 2.
Wait a second. Do they play today?
I don't think they play each other today, but they're both in the losers bracket.
Okay, so let's look down real quick. Connecticut, Colorado.
Yeah, okay. Losers. They both lost. So if they win, though, if UConn wins, UConn and Iowa State will play. So one of those 2 teams will wind up with 2 losses in Maui.
Memphis, Michigan State is the second game. Then Iowa State, Dayton is the third game.
Oh.
And Auburn, North Carolina is tonight.
Yes, that's the game tonight. That's the game. Auburn, North Carolina tonight is the game.
Okay.
That's going to be phenomenal to watch. I mean, look, you have 3 really good teams, really 4 really good teams out there. And Dayton just ran out of gas. I mean, they ran out of gas. Just like they got out to a huge lead. And I mean, I don't know if first halves in Maui are a thing, but yesterday they were a thing.
Wow.
You were betting first half dogs.
Wow.
In Maui, you cashed and did really, really well. But the soft rims, did the numbers adjust? Because they weren't out last night when I was doing the juice. Did the numbers for totals adjust? Are we in the 160s yet?
No, they're lower.
They lowered them.
I don't know. There's one. Connecticut, Colorado's 143. Memphis, Michigan State's 154.
Wow.
Iowa State, Dayton's 142. Like they're playing that game in Iowa State. I mean, that's low.
Wow, with
And then
those
Auburn,
rims.
North Carolina is higher. That's 166.
Okay. Because Carolina, I mean, that's why I bet it. Carolina is a top 10 team for tempo. Like and their defense is not very good. So they can score. RJ Davis got in foul trouble in the first half against Dayton yesterday, and that really changed the whole course of the game. In the second half, they played full and they went after it, and it was, I mean,
Is it me or do they resemble like an NBA game? Like I feel like they're playing like
no defense.
well, and they're trying to get shots quick. Like
Yeah.
there's
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
There's
That's why I bet the over. Yeah. They average, I think it's 14 seconds per possession.
Okay. Yeah.
On offense. Let me hold on. I'll tell you exactly what it is. For Carolina. North Carolina is 14.3, fifth in the country. Right now, they're the fifth fastest offense in college basketball. They do not hold the ball. They just go jacket real quick. Go. Possessions. So that's why, I mean, against Dayton, I was like, okay. I mean, Dayton wasn't fast, but like Auburn's average length of possession is 102nd today. So it's not incredibly slow. So I would go over again today with North Carolina and Auburn. Effective field goal percentage, Auburn is second. Adjusted efficiency offensively, Auburn is second. 2-point shooting, Auburn is second. 3-point shooting, they're 71st. Auburn will score today on North Carolina. 100%. But I just can't. Watching that game, I was like, the rims that as I thought, the rims were not factored in to what happened yesterday because it was the last 2 years we were in Honolulu.
Right.
We weren't in Maui. Now we're back in Maui.
Right.
And it's like doing. But it's ridiculous how, I don't know, it looks like a high school gym to me, but those rims, like they must like it. It must be part of the charm of the building or something. Because it's not expensive to change out rims. Like, what are we doing?
There's probably nobody there for 11 months.
Well, no, Chaminade plays there. So, I mean, they have a school that plays there. Like that's an active gym. Like people use that gym. 2,400 people are in that building. 2,400 people.
Trying to remember the last time I saw a basketball game in that small of a venue. That wasn't a high school game.
Oh, you mean like a high level Division I game?
Just
oh boy, I don't
period.
know.
Like I don't know. I haven't gone. I didn't go to any CSN games while Kylie was here. Like they go to the basketball games at Felician.
Okay,
they're actually enjoying it. You know,
nice,
something to do on campus, and
sure
they can walk there. And I'm like, this is
athletes
awesome.
like athletes too. It's good to support them.
Yeah,
support your fellow athlete.
And they got a nice little gym. It's probably that size, like 2,000 people maybe can get in there. But I don't know. It looks fun. I can tell you that right now. It really
does look fun.
It looks. I don't know how it. They have to have something with alumni or groups or something. Half the people in there,
charter,
each team are
it's
watching.
Charter.
Oh,
it's a charter.
They're decked out in the gear.
Oh yeah, it's full charter. Yeah. It's a full. They leave literally. It's like because our friend Kelly, when Creighton was there, the last time I played it in Maui, Creighton was there, and Kelly was there with Creighton.
Speaking of which, Kelly's here, I believe.
Oh, good. So we'll see him today then. Good. Yeah. They fly like it's a package that you sell through the school. So you're all on the team charter. So I think it's like a full 747 that each school brings. So that's why they're segmented like that. Those people who are over there are the big money donors. Like,
oh baby, there ain't no doubt about that.
those are your money donors. Those are your folks. Those are your P1s. Those are your prime A donators that are there for the Maui that are on that charter that pay because it's not cheap. And you have to have. I think you have to be at a certain level just to have the right to buy the ticket. Like it's like the PSLs. You got to pay a certain thing just to be able to buy it to get over there.
We need to get to those people for BVB sponsors.
But you see why, I mean, but think about it. If you were there like yesterday, you saw 4 games, 3 of them were unbelievable, like unbelievable basketball games. One of and Tom Izzo was the other one. It's not horrible to watch a Tom Izzo game. So, to watch Michigan State play.
You're not going to be anywhere other than like maybe an NCAA tournament site where you're going to see this number of good teams play this number of games.
Oh, this number of games
in a row.
Because today, if you are today is 0. I mean, this is 6 to midnight college basketball in Vegas today.
Yeah,
Like you could put together a day today unmatched anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch Houston and Alabama and turn around and go watch Duke and Kansas within a mile of each other.
Yeah.
Like that's a afternoon day for Houston, Alabama, and an evening day for Duke and Kansas. Like that's stupid. Those are 2 top 5. That's basically, in my opinion, that's 4 of the 5 best teams in college basketball that are playing today, a mile apart in our city.
Yeah, 6 o'clock tonight for Duke and Kansas. Oh, yeah.
So you can watch Houston and Alabama play in the NIL tournament, in the Players Era tournament, and then turn around and go down to T-Mobile and watch Duke and Cooper Flag in Kansas.
Furman plays Seattle at 8:30 at T-Mobile.
Oh, could be a lot of people for that game.
Wonder how many people
Are going to be there.
I mean,
2,
wow.
5 friends and family.
Not even. They're going to the casino too.
They're going.
We'll see you guys after the game.
We'll see how you guys do.
Wow.
Right? We'll handle it. All right. Before we get to Adam, let me ask you this question, because this is a huge question.
Okay.
If you were doing a Thanksgiving side draft,
Mm-hmm.
what is your number one? What is your first pick in the 2024 BVB Thanksgiving size?
What's the favorite
Side draft?
Is stuffing aside?
Yes.
Stuffing is a very popular side. Mashed potatoes aside?
Of course.
Yeah. Type it in the chat, boys.
Put it in the chat, guys. What is
With mashed potatoes for Daniel
there.
G?
It's up there.
It's
good
up
pick.
there. That's one of the favorites. Yeah.
Cinnamon apples? Is that considered a side?
I don't know.
That's dessert. That's not a side. That's dessert to me.
I think it's a dessert.
Rolls. CBW. Rolls. We're going rolls. What? Sweet potato casserole. Vinny must be from the South.
Anything sweet potato for me.
You must be from the South. Now, do you put marshmallows in it?
If they happen to find their way there, that's fine. I don't need them.
I
don't need them.
Whitrock is so on brand. That is so on brand, Whitrock. That's so good. That is such a good thing. Iowa guy likes corn casserole. That's tremendous.
Corn casserole.
That's awesome. That's tremendous.
Heard that.
Of course, the Iowa guy likes corn casserole. Come on, how could he not? Brown sugar and crushed pecans on your sweet potato stuffing, or sweet potato casserole. Wow.
Is it even an option to have regular potatoes? Like you got to have mashed, right?
Oh, regular potatoes is like criminal. Like, what is that?
Okay.
No, you can't do that. No. Okay. You can't do that. Cornbread with corn in it. Another Iowa guy. Another Iowa
crap.
They're Iowa guys. It's what they do with corn. It's on brand. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's required. Iowa corn's required for this.
I guess so.
Mac and cheese baked. Not bad. Not a side that I normally would go to, but not horrible. My mom makes a killer one, just on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean,
Chef Benny, you're from Rhode Island. Sweet corn on Thanksgiving?
Really?
Wow. I'm a mashed potatoes guy. I've never made mashed potatoes. I'm making mashed potatoes on Thursday. I have a whole recipe. I have a whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. My menu is it's going to be very much like how Amanda and I want it. So it's going to be an interesting Wednesday around here for me and her cooking. So it's going to be, then get up on Thursday morning. We're not doing turkey, which I love. So we're doing beef tenderloin, which is way easier. Hour and a half cook time. We'll be able to go and eat. It's all good.
Right.
And then what are we doing? We're either going bowling or going to the movies. One of the two. I can't forget what we're doing. We're doing something on after we eat. Can't remember. We're having dinner with you guys tonight.
Yes.
We're going to Enchant tomorrow night, and then we're doing something on Thursday, which I can't remember what she told me. I don't know. I'll ask her. She did something.
Mom going bowling too?
I think so. Because it's Cosmic Bowling, and Brooks wants to do Cosmic Bowling.
Oh, Suncoast?
No, they're at Red Rock.
Oh, okay.
So they're gonna do it at Red Rock.
I was saying
so
we could hook that whole thing up.
Oh, well, talk tonight.
Oh, talk tonight.
Yeah, to see what they want to do with that. So, movies is perfect. I would agree. I think Moana 2 might be on the docket. I think we might go see that. That's Brooks. Moana 1 is Brooks' favorite movie.
Okay.
So, Madeline saw Wicked last night. So now she's like, she and I are going because she wants to see it again. It was that good, I guess. So it better be good. That's all I gotta say about Wicked. It better be good because everybody, and I mean like everybody, and I've not seen a male say this, but every female I've seen come out of that movie, they're acting like it changed their life. So that movie better be that good. That's all I gotta say. My mom and sister saw Wicked, the original cast, on Broadway when Maggie was 9. So now Madeline's like reliving my sister's life. She's going through, because I have a picture of my sister on the court at Creighton at 10. So I got to figure out if I can get my daughter to Omaha this year to recreate the picture, to do it again.
Well, that would be wild.
Yeah, because how often would you get that where your sister and your daughter, because I have a very weird life. My sister's 25. So like I have a very weird life. It's just true. My family's very weird. So like I have my sister I am closer in age to my mother than I am my sister. How many people can say that?
Yeah.
So I'm 18 years apart from my mom, and I'm 25 years
when
apart. When
you say it out loud like that, it really does sound strange.
It's insane. It literally is. People are like, wait, what? Yeah. My mother had me at 18. She had a second family, and my youngest sibling is 25. I'm 47. So like it's all wacko. So she was on the court at Creighton with like, 10 years old. And here's my daughter who's 10 years old. I want to get the same sweatshirt, put her in the same spot and recreate the pictures and then blow them both up side by side. So I got to get over to Omaha at some point this year because that KU game, I was so excited for that KU game, but that KU game is not going to be a good game. They're going to get killed by Kansas. Stinks. Ashworth's injury is really bad. Let's get to a prime time Thursday or Tuesday on a BVB because it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know what day it is. Adam, how are you? Good to see you. What's up? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys too. I was just trying to work out. I was thinking this might have been my first Thanksgiving in the US, but I think I have done a Black Friday, so it might be my second one.
One.
Is it
not a big thing in my world?
I was just going to ask you.
Right.
So when you're looking at this, because I remember vividly my first Thanksgiving outside of the United States, and I was in Curacao, and they were like, what is the big deal? Like, they were trying to understand the turkey duck thing that, Madden was talking about on the TV. And I was like, listen, I can't explain any of this to you right now. Do you look at us like, what the hell are you people doing with this Thanksgiving thing?
No, again, for me, it was a work day. It was football. I mean, it was a big football day, so just showed up for work. Oddly enough, in Curacao, Jamaica, Costa Rica, you had enough Americans there that there'd be something somewhere that, you'd get some turkey and whatnot. But I was never even really a big turkey fan. I think Matt's idea with the beef tenderloin is spot on. And 100% mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes goes with everything. I don't care what it is, it can go with it. So it's my number one side. You get to a steakhouse, you get to anywhere. It's the first one that I'm looking at.
Because turkey is so bland. Like this is the thing, Adam. Like I don't know if you realized in this country, but we have different pockets of food in this country. And where I'm from in New England, it's the blandest, lack of seasoning, lack of spice ever. And we, of course, we're responsible for the turkey becoming this thing that everybody eats on Thanksgiving. Yeah. There's just no flavor to turkey, and it's a pain in the neck to make, right? I mean, to me, it's give me turkey.
Yeah, from my wife's a great cook, so she can pretty much spice and turn anything into a great meal. But yeah, the turkey's the one thing that just takes forever. Got to be checking it all the time.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck.
Go to the bathroom, come back, and there's smoke coming out of the oven kind of thing. it's an interesting thing that they put together there. But for me,
what's Australian cuisine like? Do you guys like spicy stuff? I've never had Australian food, I guess.
So lamb is always a big one. Obviously, Paul Hogan, shrimp on the barbie back in the 80s. Seafood's a big thing. But we're a melting pot of cultures. We have Asia coming in. We have, in Melbourne, you have one street that's literally Italian, another street that's Greek, another, so you have everything sort of within the realm. But lamb is big. It's sort of the Christmas roast lamb on Christmas Day and things like that. And then seafood is also the popular thing, crayfish, things like that.
Do you guys just grow up with large animals around you and like it's not a big thing when you see a spider the size of a soccer ball and like to see just things that just aren't like, is it just like commonplace in America? Like we freak out. We see those shows, people go hunting for the animals over in Australia. Is that just like kind of part of your culture that like you guys don't care when there's things that are gigantic walking around?
So again, Australia's the size of it, same size as the US, flip it upside down, Boston's like Melbourne, things like that. So where I was, again, the huntsman spider was always the one that I know gets the TikToks running and whatnot. Of these spiders the size of dinner plates, absolutely harmless. But
harmless. Sure, they're harmless.
You see that crawling up the wall when you're a 6-7-year-old. It's a little scary. But for me, snakes. I am anti-snakes. I live anywhere where there's no snakes. That was the one thing that just got under my skin more than anything else. As for the others,
don't they go in the vents? Don't like the big snakes go in the vents for houses and they got to pull them out?
I've seen a lot of those videos. It's funny because my son's been down there now for 3 years and he hasn't seen a snake.
Oh, that's good.
So it's not, there's certain aspects where you're in the city and that you don't get them as many. You go to the outback, you'll see plenty. So the animals sort of keep to their own sort of area, down south with potential great white sharks, up north, saltwater crocodiles. So they kind of keep to their own region somewhat as well.
Oh, I didn't have spiders and snakes talk on my docket this morning, you two. And I hate snakes with a passion. And spiders.
I hate spiders. Of a spider the size of a dinner plate is nothing I want to experience.
I don't want to see a big spider. I'm obviously with 3 daughters and a wife here. I am the exterminator. So if there's anything around, they're like, "Daddy, go kill that." I'm like, you know what? Let's just leave that alone because I don't like that shit either. I don't at all.
Because kangaroos can mess you up, right? If you mess around with a kangaroo, they can really screw your world up, can't they?
A kangaroo can do damage, yes. But generally they're friendly. You can pat them and things like that. But you get on the wrong side of the kangaroo. I mean, I'd rather get hit by Tyson than get kicked by a kangaroo.
It's true. It can really mess you up.
Oh my. All right, let's focus a little bit here, just a little. All right, get on the right side of something on Thanksgiving. Generally, Thanksgiving is a day for the players, Adam. It is a day where, for years now, you've been able to just bet against Detroit, bet on Dallas, and now this night game, just bet the under because it's usually cold, freezing, wherever it's at.
Yep.
Look at the board. You've been on fire. We're not holding you to anything. We'll wait for the big Saturday drop for the Bjorn blaster. Every single week, 1 or 2 winners. But explain a little bit of booking Thanksgiving in general. And then is there anything on the board that you want to point out for the people watching and listening to the show?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, Detroit Lions were like my team growing up. Like back in Australia, I had a team that, again, went to the grand final 4 out of 6 years, kind of like the Bills did in the 90s. But Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, you just felt sad for them. Every year, you just and I looked through and I think last year they'd, lost 2 out of 15 or 6, or 2 out of 15, 16 or something like that. It was an insane number. So it's always good to see them having a good Thanksgiving. I think the people of Detroit deserve a really good Thanksgiving with Detroit having a win, at least on that side. And they're 10-point favorites, so they should have a win.
Let's hope so.
This would be true Thanksgiving destiny. If we see Detroit lose, it'll be just a homage to old times, and I'd feel real bad for them. Dallas Giants. I mean, I didn't release on Saturday night. The one game that was close in the vicinity was the one we spoke about last week with Dallas, Washington, where 80% of the money was on Washington. I think that would have broke them if I had to pick that one. 10-point favorite, getting beat. But there was just no volume on it. What an ugly game, Cowboys Giants, to the point where it might actually be a good game. Two bad teams. I mean, it might be competitive, whatnot. All the money's been for Dallas so far. Like heavy on Dallas. It's like they win a game and here they are. It's meeting the Giants. It's a rough game. And then the evening game, with the Packers Dolphins. Packers favorite at home. Obviously, they got a soft San Francisco last week. Hopefully, I think they continue on this week and get another good win at home against Miami, which from what I'm seeing, the temperature, I look at the 10-day forecast here, it's meant to be going to 0 Thursday. And here in Michigan, I don't see another number above 0 until Tuesday.
What? Celsius.
Yes, so 32. Sorry.
Not
I was like, wait a second.
You gotta remember who we're talking to, Dave. You gotta remember who we're talking to. I knew exactly what he meant. I was like, it ain't that cold.
Yeah, so from Thursday, nothing above 32. Get into my American mode here. And on the 10-day forecast, there was nothing above 32 until at least Tuesday. So I imagine Green Bay, which is just across that big lake not far from me, is going to be cold. So kind of, as you said, that might be the play again on the under 47 on Thursday night. And Miami coming from nice, cozy, warm place down there. I think Green Bay and probably under is the way it may land.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. In terms of crazy endings, the Washington-Dallas game, let alone just the betting implications, because the game was a dead under until it hit the fourth quarter, and then we had 1,000 points being scored. We also have, obviously, the 10.5-point number that everybody was going back and forth with. But the Circa Survivor with 33 entries who thought they might have been live, you missed an extra point. I mean, have you seen an NFL game like that in recent memory? I mean, from a betting standpoint, a book standpoint, how did that game fall for you guys?
Again, it felt great. Dallas winning that. I mean, that was a great result. No matter how that last intricacy sort of fell, again, it was a 10.5. It was a good result. But yeah, I mean, I've been out of Survivor for some time now. Scott with Vegas Horse Pools lost his last player a few weeks ago. So I was sort of waiting for that, big moment of carnage to tune in again to see, the few that are left. And that was a big one. I mean, I don't feel so bad being out at this point because there's no way I would have survived beyond last week.
If you had an entry, what would you do, Adam? Would you play it out? Would you look to sell it? Because we know people who are still alive.
Yeah. So for me, and I've said this from day one, I'm not a bankroll manager. I'm a gambler. I ride it until it dies. I would be, probably if there's opportunities, you see the picks, you can do some hedging and you can sort of earn out. I'd mess around with some stuff like that we saw. I think it was the year before last with some games, but I'm riding this thing. I'm like,
54 entries are left for 14.2 million.
I think it's getting interesting now because the money's so much higher now. Like last year it was 9.2 million. Now it's 14 million. I mean, if somebody knocks on your door and says, I'll give you your cash value right now is like $260,000. There's people that are taking it. So, but
and that's fair to many people. That's a big chunk of change. And if you're in that situation, like, go right ahead. I just have too much gamble in me. But I will say, when it comes to the conversations of splits and whatnot, as you get, down to say 14 and each of it's worth $1 million or something like that, like, do something where everybody's eating and then let someone, let sort of the last one roll out to the end. Like, I know that happened again previous years or whatnot, where there was
last year
injection about that. Like, you're all heading in the same direction. Find a middle ground of what a split looks like, and then have someone, or whoever's left at the final day, eat out the rest. But
It's that
You know,
one
that's
guy,
about-
though, Adam. It's that one turd. It's that one turd in the punch bowl that decides
Of
to say,
course.
"I'm not splitting. I'm
Of
not
course.
chopping." And you have 4 of them. You need all 4 people to sign up for it. And the one guy's like, "Nah, we're going for it. Let's go. I want all of it. I'm going to take you all down."
Yeah, and that's in my head. That's the conversation I'm having.
Right.
The empathetic side of me starts to, and which, 2-3 years ago, it would have been we're riding to the death. Now it's kind of, you look at what other people's situations are, what it could do for them and things like that. And you just go, you know what, let's find a spot that everybody gets something fair and then we fight out for the rest.
That's the way to do it. I mean, really, as you get older, I think you start to see that, because I'm with you. I'd have done that at a younger time. I'd have been like, all right, look, it's a dime entry. I'm gambling.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the end. And now it's like, you think about the kids and you think about the things that you could do with the cash. You still want to compete for the end, but you want to make sure that everybody eats. I think that's a great way to say it. The NFL is getting really interesting, as it should now. The AFC picture is I think it's open. I mean, like, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they keep winning, and they won Sunday, but they didn't look great doing it. Adam, we've been talking for weeks, trying to come up with the picture for the Super Bowl. It's Detroit or Philly, pretty clear, and then everybody else in the NFC. Who do you think is the best team in the AFC right now?
Well, I mean, again, the easy choice is Kansas, but I think they've been walking through raindrops for best part of the season. Hands down, the Super Bowl I want to see is Detroit Lions and the Bills.
Baby.
That's the Super Bowl I want to see.
Somebody gets their first one of a guaranteed first-time winner.
That's both of those. I know someone doesn't deserve to be on the losing side of that one. They can go into, quadruple overtime or whatever needs to happen to make sure they got their full value out of it. But those are the 2 teams that I'd love to see in the Super Bowl.
That would be monster handle, wouldn't it?
Oh, my.
Yeah, I think just from that aspect, 2 teams that both got their deep supporters. They've got, it's kind of people that'll be on the left and the right side of the aisle. I think that's the Super Bowl that would be great for bookies, great for bettors, great for spectators, great for fans.
For props, for everything. Oh, it would be awesome.
Yes, we know, JPC. Our Detroit people are like, we will take
They're
that.
going crazy. Yeah, this is good. Is it the same in college? Because the college football playoffs are coming out. Today's the show, Tuesdays. We love it here on the show. I think people love it. I've been saying for years the handle's been going up. The interest is going up. The arguments continue to go up now that we go from 2 to 4 to 12. And there's teams that should be in but aren't. There's people that say the SEC is better than everybody else, so their strength of schedule determines what gets in and blah, 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 blah. And then nobody wants to see Penn State in this thing. Michigan won it last year over a Pac-12 team, and it turns out that they would both be Big Ten teams now, played for the championship last year. Adam, what's the college picture look like for you? If you could pick, maybe, what do you want to see college-wise?
Well, personally, I took a big stake in Miami early in the year, so I would love to see them go deep. I hope that they can sort of hang in that bottom section of the draw. It's kind of been the old age. When there was 2 teams, there was arguments. They moved it to 4 teams, there was arguments. I think this 12 team reduces the arguments, but you're still going to get arguments. The key is to make sure that, the top 8 teams and then the peripheral ones. I think there was opportunities there. I sort of tickled into Alabama a bit about 3-4 weeks ago when they lost their first game. Thought, there's still a strong chance to make it. You just need them in the 12. And my peripheral vision is I'm looking at those sort of 6 to 10 number teams where there's still big prices. Who knows what's going to happen? There's multiple games now. You've got college kids that are going to have this regular season and then back up multiple games where normally they just roll into 1 or 2. those are the teams that I'm looking at from a betting perspective, and they're the ones I'm protecting as a bookie's perspective of who may sit in that sort of 6 to 12 range. And then it was really, I actually just went back to recheck how it all works this week, because you have some teams that are almost better off missing their championship game.
Yes, sir.
To make sure they get in and don't lose that championship game, which would then get them kicked out. It's like there's going to be still some messiness to us, but that's very strategic at the moment. And there's just teams to protect, there's teams to bet. And then the top ones are just, they're too short. They're shorter than the all-up price kind of thing. They're shorter than whatever your live all-up price could possibly be. So it's just lay the front 4 teams, 5 teams, protect the others. And then if you're looking to bet some, again, sort of looking at the outside, looking in, trying to pick some big prices that potentially you'll, get some value at once they're in.
How heavy are you guys? It's kind of a rhetorical question, but Ohio State, like, you would love to see the Buckeyes get bounced early from that thing, would you not?
So it was a team. So this is with the futures, Ohio. We weren't very aggressive on that because you got to pay the taxes as the bet's taken. So we sort of kept a lot of them a little bit under the odds. So they're actually not a bad result for us at this point in time. Whoa. Whereas New Jersey, you pay when the bet's graded, so you could be more aggressive on that futures market as well. So there's kind of a business game that really makes it hard when you have to pay 20 cents on the dollar for every futures bet you take 6 months in advance. It doesn't let you have
logic behind that. Why would they make you do that?
Well, again, they're doing it on sales, paying the taxes. So again, as a startup, you're risking that you have a bad January.
Oh, no.
And you pay the taxes on that, and there's no carryover on losses as well. So potentially you pay the 20% at the front end in September, October. You, as a startup, maybe lose overall in January, so you don't owe any taxes, but you've paid taxes that already get graded on the futures, and you can't carry that into February. So there's underlying games within each state of how aggressive to be on certain things. And in this situation, we aren't heavily loaded on Ohio or any of those teams in that.
I love how honest you are, because that is the first time we have heard anyone in your spot tell us that. At least for me, I've never heard that before. That's crazy. That's a really interesting, different state, different law conversation.
It makes it very difficult to run the business. And
correct. Yes.
It's another example of, again, if anyone doing the legislating took the time to understand the business and actually listen and said, wait, that's going to make it pretty tough for you, isn't it? Maybe we should tax you at the end so you guys can go get the money, hold the bets. You're still taking the risk.
Correct.
Let's be fair. Nope. F them. Let's get them at the beginning, tax them at the beginning. So what do? You keep the price not competitive. So you don't take bets on them. You take bets on other things, right? That's the move.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I really wanted to get Cincinnati and Cleveland bettors, like almost give them double the Super Bowl odds, double the conference odds, things like that. So instead of giving bonuses, back your home team and whatnot. Yeah. But it made it hard there. Whereas in New Jersey with Jets, again, we could pump up that price, get those bets in, and we didn't have to pay it till the end. So we could structure a book around the profit and loss, knowing that the taxes was paid on the final result, not having already paid whatever the percentage, and Ohio's example, already paying 20% on the taxes on the front end for any Cleveland bet or Cincinnati bet that we're also trying to juice to give bigger odds and stuff like that. And that's the difficulty of regulated versus unregulated and all those aspects. And as you said, they're not truly understanding the business game of where they're restricting and where they're hurting themselves.
So you pay the taxes on $100. So you go ahead and pay the $20 on the 100. But if you lose the bet, you pay out whatever the bet pays out to the gambler. So you essentially can lose twice, if I'm hearing you correctly, right?
Yes, potentially. So as an organization, Ohio doesn't have carryover on losses. So we win some months, we lose some months. We're not DraftKings, FanDuel, where they're winning every month. So there's an aspect that we can pay out on that bet in January if overall we have a losing month, we've already paid the 20% tax on that, and we can't carry it over into February because some states have a carryover. I mean, Dave, you would know back in the days when you could, you'd have a loss, you could carry it over and it went to the next week, stuff like that. It doesn't happen in some states like that. So this is where talking with the regulators and hopefully, Richard Schultz and Billy and Spanky and that are sort of having these conversations of, if you want to regulate the unregulated, you have to make them somewhat apples to apples. And right now it's completely apples to oranges, and there's no real concept of tackling that apart from your very low-hanging fruit of your $5, $10 bettors. It's just easier to bet local than it is to go through the process of betting unregulated.
At some point, somebody's going to have to try to bridge the gap. I've listened to it. I've tried to explain to them, and it's still like this, Adam, where they go, wait, you were offshore? Yeah. And there's good people there. They're running businesses. Like, they're really good at this. No. Like, it's still taboo to say anything, one, positive about offshore, but two, to try to say, you guys should do it more like this. Well, why? Because they're actually doing it and it works. If you do it close to that, this will all thrive even more.
Yes.
How do we get that message to somebody that might want to have this whole thing actually work? Because I still feel like the future of this business is teetering in so many states.
Yeah, and I will say, give credit, New Jersey are great about this. My history is impossible to hide, so own it. And I've kind of explained to them my goal, the whole reason why Planetech was developed out and why Prime Sports was partnered was to regulate the unregulated. And I also called it, bringing the offshore home kind of aspect to it. And New Jersey have been great, like I'm explaining to them certain situations. And again, they're governed by whatever the legislations are, which I've learned is very different to what the regulators do, because they're controlled by the laws and then they build regulations around it. So generally it's not the regulators that have made mistakes or the problem, it's further upstream with the legislation. And Ohio, from the conversations I've had with them, have been, open to understanding, why you should do these sports, and they have a very tight sports catalog. And they were actually very thoughtful in the way that they decided to tackle these sports catalogs in that sense as well. And now having conversations with Arizona, they've been very open as well. But I have been at panels and that and asked questions, in particular, one where the legislators let the sports books put bonus money against their taxes, which then showed, why not build your corporation against the public tax dollar in doing that? You made these laws, and they were sort of made the laws because they said it would promote the industry. This industry's been here for 40, 50 years. You didn't need to promote it. You just need to turn on the faucet and it was going to run. So the states that I've dealt with to date, exceptionally open, having conversations, knowing my background, knowing what my goal in this is, and everybody has different goals. But there is some states that I've seen, again, on panels or heard side conversations that they have that are truly just dug in as a politician or a government worker, and tried to make this a responsible gaming game and things like that. Sports betting is not your dark entry to the anti-responsible gaming. The iCasino is where that really gets turned on. So there's just a misunderstanding. And as you said, Dave, of if they understood how the business is and the challenges that the operators have, not just the monopolies, because again, they have their own issues as well, but the smaller ones, because ultimately the better product for the people is more operators giving more choices. And we've seen, a dozen or so leave already because it's just too hard to do business here with the regulations and that. So they've gone back to their countries or gone into sweepstakes, which is kind of the gray market, offshore market in the backyard kind of thing. So it's hard work.
Adam, to swing it back to the games and to steal a line from Top Gun, it is a target-rich environment this week. You've got Dave and I are going to college basketball. There's a million games today. There's a million games on Wednesday. There's a million college football games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's NFL games on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Where does your eye go as a gambler? I mean, are you focusing on the NFL still? Do you look at college basketball because people are going to look at football? Where do you go this week?
There's still golf on this week. There's a few other sports. To me, I mean, college basketball is just I quit that as a gambler a long time ago, and I let the traders book it because I used to hate, and back in the day it was pencil and paper that you had to get a college, writing down the bets and things like that. College Saturday when there was football and basketball, brutal. And now that can be any day of the week.
I still got the papers. I still go to the book to get the papers, Adam. You can't break old habits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's too many games. There's too many venues.
Still carry my 4 pens no matter what. I can mark them on.
You got those pens with the colors?
Look at that.
Where do you get those?
Staples, I think I got my last batch.
My goodness.
Kids, look those up. Those are staples of our childhood. The 4-pen, click which color you put down for the pen.
So this is my favorite thing on race days, Breeders' Cup and NFL Sunday, whatnot. There's just so much. And that's where, the same game parlays, you add those things in, the props. It's, as a bookmaker, you just got to sit back and watch the ticker, cross your fingers, hope those numbers are ballpark right, and hope that generally most of your bettors that lose will, lose. As a bettor, there's just so much that now you're managing your liquidity, your bankroll. How much money do I have in this place? How much money do I have in that place? It's a great week to be a sports bettor and a bookie. Like, it's just these are the optimal weeks. Thanksgiving weeks, there is so much stuff on, and again, there's soccer Champions League on today or tomorrow. You'll wait for Thursday. Like, for the world bettors, this is an early Christmas.
It is. And last one for me, sir. So, what is your plan for Thursday? Because again, like, old habits die hard. You called this a work day. Is it a work day, or are you going to be able to sit and just relax, watch the games, hang out with the kids, whatever it is you're doing? What is your Thursday looking like, sir?
Get up, have my first meeting. Probably, I love this Eastern time because I'm ahead of all my meetings, so I get an hour or two in advance. First meeting probably 8:30, and roll into the football game, which I think it'd be like 12:30 now that I'm in Eastern.
12:30 kick. Yep.
So I'll actually be able to do all my normal work in the mornings, just pound in the meetings, do everything I need to do, and then the afternoon might actually be able to just watch games. And I mean, I'm up in Michigan, so there's a few books here that I can play into, and we'll go from there.
All right. So when do you make the play? Everyone's going to want to be listening to this for Saturday. So it is a normal release for the 8-week heater podcast comes out Saturday.
I presume it'll be the same Saturday, 4 Pacific, 4:01 and 7:01. That's the goal. As I said, we took a week off last week because there wasn't anything stood out. Had we picked, Dallas was sort of the one we tossed around in the show. But who knows? Maybe Scott will call me up tomorrow and say, hey, we need to do a Wednesday night one too. But right now, I mean, it's Dallas is the one that's being bet heavy. Detroit, obviously, they're laying the number there as well. So who knows? We'll see if something's got some good volume by tomorrow night, and maybe we'll show up tomorrow night, Thursday morning. But 100% there Saturday, 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern.
Great stuff. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us.
Thank
you
you,
for
sir.
coming on. Thank you for doing
guys.
it on a Tuesday. We'll be back on Thursday next week.
All right, cheers.
Mr. Adam Bjorn from our friends at Prime Sports on a prime time Thursday for BVP. Good to get him on. Everyone's going to wait and see what the pick is for this week because they are on fire.
So funny because, I was, I kind of I didn't panic when I got word that somebody didn't put in a pick
Yeah.
for Survivor.
Right.
So like, he does that podcast with what's his first name? I forget his first name. I apologize. But he's a proxy too.
Yeah.
So like I was texting him and the other proxies.
No one's looking at spiders right now. King car seats. We're not interested in looking at King Huntsman spiders. I honest to God think that would probably end me. If I saw a Huntsman spider on my wall or on my window, I think it would end me. I don't think I could handle that personally.
Yeah, I don't want to see any spiders. But I got on and watched it. He wanted to say Dallas so bad, and he just wouldn't say it.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, that's going to be the one. That's the one.
Outright. I mean, covering's one thing. Outright.
No, well, he was talking about covering. He was just talking about covering.
But the outright win is like, oh my goodness gracious. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
so, I mean, if you guys,
baby.
you know, you're not doing anything Saturday and you still have a contest or things to look at for Sunday, go. It's quick. I mean, those guys just get together, throw it up. It's 15 minutes. And they do it live Saturday.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Ravens beat up on the Chargers last night on Sunday Night Football. Let me ask you this question. Why don't most coaches or more coaches do what John Harbaugh did last night? Going for it on 4th down 3 separate times.
Yep.
That was the most logical, and I don't know. I feel like I was watching a different game last night by watching the idea of when it's 4th and 2, you can't stop us. So we're going for it on our own 16-yard line, whether my brother is on the other sideline or not. We're going for it because you can't stop us on 4 downs. We're getting 10 yards. I feel like I was watching the future going, I wonder if more coaches are going to do that. Because I would.
You have to be secure in your job, and you have to have a good team to do it. Because if you don't have either, you're going to be questioned and run out of the building if it doesn't work. So it's scary to be different and go for 2 or go for it on 4th down when you don't normally do it. I mean, playing aggressive, it works until it doesn't.
If I was the Lions, I wouldn't punt. I wouldn't punt the rest of the year. I would tell the kid, hey, by the way, you're the punter, but you can sit down. We're not punting anymore. If I'm Dan Campbell, I'm watching that going like, yep, that's how I'm playing. Rest of the year, I know I'm aggressive, but I'm not punting ever. When it's 4th down and 4th and 3 or less, I'm not punting. I'm going to go ahead and run because my offense, if I had an offensive line that I believed in and I had running backs like the Lions do and like the Ravens do, I'm not punting. Like I'm going to challenge my offensive line consistently saying, guys, it's on you. We're not punting. So get the 3 yards now.
Listen, as long as everybody's on the same page, it's fine.
This is, I need to meet Annie Duke with how much I push her book. But Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke changed the way that I think about 1, gambling, but 2, just in life, that you make decisions based upon the level of information you have at your disposal at the time you make it, and you live with the consequence. You don't look back and say it was a bad decision because it failed. Did you make the right decision for how you're going to approach that said decision? And let the chips fall where they may. And as coaches, you're right. A lot of guys, I mean, look, there's 32 jobs. They're multi-million, they're families. Like it's hard and scary to literally gamble with your job by going ahead and doing this consistently. But watching that last night made so much freaking sense to me. It made so much sense.
I mean, but there's times to punt too. Like there's times to punt.
On 4th and 6, but if it's 4th and 1 or 2 or 3, I'm never punting. I'm not giving the football up if I have a chance to pick up 3 yards. And it's all I need is pick up 3 yards because I'm going to believe in my offense to go ahead and be able to pick it up.
Listen, it can work. It's worked. Not a lot of teams have done it. When a team wins a championship that does it, then everybody will do it. That's what they have to do.
You're absolutely right. When you play Madden, do you ever punt when you're playing Madden? You never punt when you're playing Madden. You go for everything. It's keeping possession is everything. And John Harbaugh's got two guys who you can't tackle. You can't tackle Henry or Lamar. Like, it just, the rest of the way, I can't wait. And yes, it looks good on paper. I would agree. It looks good on paper. But again, it's the decision. You make it beforehand. You don't make it in the moment. You say, guys, when it's 4th and 3, we're going for it. Okay. I don't care where it's on the field, 16-yard line plus, 16-yard line negative. Doesn't matter. We're going for it.
As long as everybody understands that, defense included, because listen, we're going for it. If they don't make it, you got to hold them to a field goal.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Right.
Like, because if you get what the hell are we doing? We didn't make it. You're giving them a short field. You're giving them 3 points, coach. Well, no, we're going to do that because I think we're going to make it. And we didn't make it. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, it didn't work on Thursday, right? The Steelers did Rainmaker Lou. Thank you for that. I mean, he did do it. Tomlin tried it numerous times and it didn't work because they didn't score. You have to eventually score. If you're going to go for it on 4th down and possess the ball, the goal is to score. So it worked. I mean, the game went over, had it all the way. Everybody that had the over had it all the way. No problem.
Till the garbage touchdown.
All the way. All the way. I was at Kendall's volleyball practice watching this guy lose his mind watching the game on his phone.
So you probably missed the comment by Joe Buck on the extra point. First time I remember Joe Buck making the Al Michaels tip of the cap to the gamblers, because he said this extra point is probably rather significant to a segment of our audience, because it was 52 and a half.
Yeah.
And the extra point was pending.
Right.
And he made it. I was like, Joe Buck, welcome to the party. I like it. That's good. That's how we do it.
That was 46 seconds left. And he was complaining about the refs. He just kept saying, man, these refs suck tonight.
They were so bad. All game. I mean, it was, people can say that they wanted the under. You can say they wanted the over. I mean, they had a ref. The worst call was a touchdown by Mark Andrews in the end zone, where the referee was literally a foot away looking right at it. And he goes, incomplete. And Mark Andrews says, why? And he goes, you're out of bounds. I mean, he legitimately was like 4 feet in bounds. Like, he wasn't even close to the end line. Like, what the guy was looking at was insane. Like, it was literally like, everyone was like, maybe he dropped it, but out of bounds? No, dude. Like, how did you get your job? Like, you're literally standing right there. The end line's over there, and you say it was out of bounds? Like, it was that they were awful last night. They were bad. So regardless if you got the under or the over, they were just consistently bad on both sides. Pass interference calls were crazy. They were inconsistent on every level. It was a bad crew last night.
Man.
So, yeah, it was, Aikman. They're mad. Yeah, I mean, I think both Joe Buck and Aikman are angry. They're tired of talking about the referees. They're tired of talking about all the flags.
It messes with the flow of the game when it's every play, every other play. Like, they get on a drive, some teams, and it'll be holding, and then it'll be illegal procedure or motion, and then it'll be interference, and it's then an interference again, sometimes back to back or another. It's just too much.
It was bad. By the way, I don't know who Hector Gomez is, and I don't know what he's an MLB insider for a website that I do not know.
Okay,
but I'm gonna believe him. I'm gonna believe him because I'm wearing this shirt. This is a New England shirt. I wore this today. The Red Sox upped their offer for Juan Soto last night, according to him. So they found where the market was, and they upped it. Okay. Red Sox are going for Soto.
Wow.
Get me Juan Soto now in New England. I don't know if Hector Gomez knows anything about it. He's at HGome27 on Twitter. He's an MLB insider with 105,000 followers. So he's got to be somebody. He's got to be somebody. Okay. Got to be somebody.
I was going to say it was Boris's burner, but I guess not.
The Red Sox increased their original offer to Juan Soto last night, both in years and total value.
Oh.
And then he pinned the tweet to the top of his of his Twitter account. So I don't know if he may know nothing. He may be totally getting fed something by the agent, but Red Sox fans are all buzzing right now that there's a shot at Juan Soto becoming a Red Sox.
Wow.
Supposedly they want Blake Snell, Garrett Crochet, and Juan Soto. They want all three this offseason.
Wow, go get some big leaguers to go with the kids. That would be something.
Well, that's the thing. I guess during the Red Sox pitch, they showed them the 6 top 100 prospects that are all going to be coming up, making a combined $800,000. Red Sox may have 6 starters making $800,000 combined. So their payroll is going to be $190 to $220 million. So you can give $80 million to Juan Soto and it won't matter. Like you can give him an obscene amount of money that like doesn't make sense. Like they might give him $70 million. They really might.
Wow.
So
I didn't even realize I wore the Blue Jay shirt today for the baseball discussion.
Well, because the Blue Jays made an offer, right?
They did. They're listed as one.
Red Sox, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Blue Jays have all made offers to, according to John Morosi, have made offers to Juan Soto.
The Blue Jays are the patsy in the whole thing. Sorry, Canadian viewers and watchers, but there's no chance in hell that Juan Soto is going to Toronto.
But there might be no chance in hell he's going to the Red Sox either. I mean, this all might.
Oh, I know that. But
Scott Boras playing, playing the Red Sox for the Mets and the Yankees to make New York freak out.
Yeah,
but like my dream is that it comes down to Juan Soto's pick, and he picks the Red Sox over the Yankees. That's the dream. That's the dream.
Amazing. Yeah.
I mean, it would be so good. I mean,
this
it would be
is the
so
only
good.
Blue Jays thing I got for the Creighton Blue Jays. Jimmy football. That's why I wore it today.
Yes, that's for the Creighton
great.
Blue Jays. Yes, my daughter asked me. She goes, "You don't have a Creighton Blue Jays hat?" I said, "You know what? I got to rectify that today. I don't have a Blue Jays hat. I have Blue Jays t-shirts, but I don't have a Blue Jays hat.
Oh,
I got to change that. I used to have a Creighton hat. I don't anymore. So, see if I can get one today from the Players Era Tournament that's happening here in Las Vegas, where the players are making or the teams are making $1 million. Did you know the coach gets to dictate which player gets how much money?
guess who'd be picking up all the towels and doing whatever the coach said.
I mean, isn't that crazy? The coach gets to dictate. $1 million is handed over to the team, and the coaches and the athletic director or the general managers of the teams will distribute the money. Like, so if somebody gives it equally versus I'm paying my star players more, starters get this, bench players get that. Like, this is legitimately, you have to work a roster. You got to legitimately, like a professional team, you got to work a roster as to whose ego gets bruised if they don't get as much money as they think that they should.
It's a brutal thing because
Right?
the kids mostly hang out together.
What if
This
you're
isn't
hurt?
like
What if you're hurt and you don't play in this? Like, Stephen Ashworth is a senior, averaged 16 points per game, and basically broke his ankle basically against Nebraska. He's not playing in this tournament. Does he get a full cut? As a coach, do you pay him the same as you're paying a starter?
we got to take a real gauge of the temperature in the locker room,
Right?
because as a team, what is there, 12 guys?
15 in college.
Okay. I don't know. They'd have to have some serious discussions, learn about your team, because there's probably 10 that like each other, and there's 5 that don't.
Split it equally. I think the Jays have done that historically, Kevin. I know Creighton did it in the first year of NIL. I was told that every player on the roster got $125,000.
I don't think there's any other way to do it for something like this. You know, you guys got to go exactly what I think should be said. You know, how do you tell them otherwise? You're there for practice every day. You get a trip to Vegas and you win money.
No, you don't win money. You're given money. Doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Oh, I thought they were playing for the million.
No, this is NIL. This is this is appearances.
Every team that shows up gets $1 million.
Every team gets $1 million.
Mom, I ain't coming home for Thanksgiving. Why? I'm going to Vegas to play basketball. What do you mean? Don't you always come home? Yeah. No, not this year.
I'm getting 150,000.
I'm gonna make 150K. I'll save the leftovers for you. Goodbye.
I'll see you. They're all here. All the families are here. They're all because what happened was for this is they play Tuesday, Wednesday. That was supposed to be the end of the tournament. They added Saturday after the fact. So they realized that they needed to have some type of like Maui invitational bracket where there's a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. So on Saturday, there's 4 more games on Saturday. So that means they play Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing Thursday, nothing Friday. So you have Thanksgiving. So all the families are all here.
This is literally a travel ball tournament.
Yes.
With a stay and play requirement. Yeah, and they're paying them to come.
Yeah.
This is literally, you're guaranteed 3 games.
Because TBS, the game today for the Jays is on TNT or TBS, one of the two, but that's who paid the big money.
Right.
For the name. And so TNT came to the players era and said, hey, we need more on Saturday because we don't have anything on Saturday. So we want you guys to play Saturday. We don't have college football. Let's give you big time college basketball. 4 games on TNT and TBS on Saturday.
Geez, I don't know how we would divide it up. If somebody said, how would you guys divide up? Was that Sonic?
The Brigade.
$10 million divided up with the Brigade.
Go. I have no idea. I would not want to be in that position.
My head's going to explode.
It hurts. By the way, just one more quick thing on last night before the games. Did you see what the Celtics did in the second quarter last night?
Nope.
They hit 12 threes.
In one quarter?
They scored 51 points.
Were the Clippers not putting their hands up?
I mean, this is the first game back with Porzingis. And they hit 12 threes in a quarter. Tied the NBA record for the most made threes in a single quarter in the history of the sport.
I got nothing.
I mean, the team total was 58.5. They almost got that in the second quarter alone.
At home?
In the home. First half team total was 58.5 because it's the Clippers. The total was 216.5. Boston scored 120 some odd points against the Clippers. I mean, it was watching. It was like, holy crap. They couldn't miss. Like, it was just like bombs away.
I don't understand how. I mean, I know people watch the show that work in the books, but like the Boston team total at home can't be less than 60.
It can be like 62. It should be 62 or higher every time.
It should be 60.5, depending if there's a really good defensive team.
But the Clippers are supposed to be a good defensive team.
59.5. I know, but like, I just don't. I mean, that one leaves a mark for me if I'm doing a number and I'm like, who put up 58.5? Come on. Like, what are we doing? Stop doing that.
12 for 17. The Boston Celtics took 17 threes in the second quarter and hit 12 of them.
I mean, how many twos did they take?
I
less than that.
Oh, I tweeted home.
Right?
The number actually is hysterical. For what Boston did. Hold on. Let's see, did I not tweet that out? I thought I did. I think they took 2-point shots
right
in the second quarter, and one of which was when all night. The Celtics took 2 shots not in the paint or outside the 3-point line the entire game. One of which was when Pritchard's foot was on the line shooting a 3. So the mid-range game was all gone. It was either layup or three the entire game for the Celtics against the Clippers. That's the NBA. I mean, that's literally, if you're talking about how the NBA is structured now, 2-point shots, the mid-range game is dead. Is absolutely dead. No one's taking it, no one's coaching it, no one's scheming for it.
Is it ever coming back?
I don't know. It's a great question. I think I doubt it. Someone in the chat is asking who was taking the threes. Everybody was. They wound up 22 of 51 from behind the arc. That's 43%. Every starter had 1 3. Porzingis and Drew Holiday were the worst. They were 1 for 6 and 1 for 8. Derek White was 5 for 9. Tatum was 2 for 6 for the game. Jaylen Brown was 3 for 7. And Peyton Pritchard, who right now could win the NBA 6th Man of the Year award, went 6 for 10.
Wow.
6 for 10. I mean, it's look out. That's all I got to say is look out. Tonight, let's go to college football. There's so many games to talk about. Memphis at Tulane. Tulane needs this game to get into the conference, to get into their conference championship game. They got to win it. Laying 14 at home. Total 56.
I'm not watching 1 second of this game.
Really? Not 1 second?
Nope.
I'm going to give you the records ATS as we go through all these games. Memphis is 5-5-1. Tulane is 9-2 ATS. They've covered 4 straight games. They're 6-1 against the conference. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 4-1 at home. Tulane has covered by 28, 20.5, 16.5 a point the last 4 weeks.
So you like a side?
I mean, it's Tulane or nothing for me.
I don't know. Dog.
Memphis. No. Tulane needs it. Tulane will house them, I think. We go to Friday. Big games on Friday. Egg Bowl. Mississippi State against Ole Miss.
Why are they not 26. Playing this on Thursday?
They never play on Thursday. They play on Friday.
That's a Thanksgiving night game.
Egg Bowl? Oh, that's a good point. Egg Bowl used to be on Thanksgiving. I forgot about
Thanksgiving night.
Maybe the change, because now the SEC is different. They want the game on Thursday. I don't know, on Friday, rather.
They didn't want to go against the NFL anymore.
Probably. Move off of it.
That was a lot of times. That's a better game than the NFL game.
Yeah, good point. Wow, I don't know why the Egg Bowl used to be on Thursday. That's a great point. I don't know why it's on Friday. It's on Friday. Oh, they moved it
a year or two ago, Roper said. How come, Roper?
It must be TV. It's got to be TV reasons. They wanted it away from the NFL.
Times at 12:30 our time, so 3:30 Eastern.
Ole Miss is 7-4 on the year ATS. They're 4-2 at home, but they're underwater against the SEC. They're 3-4 ATS. Mississippi State is 6-5, 4-3 against the SEC, and they are 3-1 on the road. This is a major letdown spot in my mind for Ole Miss. Major.
Jeez. This is
they're out of the playoffs.
This is on at the same time as the Chiefs and Raiders.
Yes.
They moved it to get away from the
Yes.
NFL.
And then the NFL said, sorry, we're going to come in here and put
said we're going to put a game on Black
Friday. Sorry. And it's the Chiefs on top of that.
Son of a well, I don't know. This was 26. Ole Miss coming off a loss and having to win to keep the dream alive of a 3-loss SEC team getting in the playoff.
They're dead.
Well,
Ole Miss is not getting in. Alabama's getting in before Ole Miss.
So they don't cover?
I don't think so. It's too many points.
Mississippi State is terrible.
I didn't put on the rundown, by the way. All my Iowa guys, you guys aren't losing in Nebraska, right? I don't have to hedge that bet, right? Because I have over 8 wins for Iowa, team total wise. They have 7, 8-4 Ferents. It's gonna be 8-4 Ferents.
It's 5.5.
Yeah. Do I got to hedge? Iowa fan. Do I got to hedge? Do I got to take Nebraska +5? Really would rather not.
Get a nice middle there if you don't. Iowa wins by 3 or 4. Right in that middle. Boom. Cash.
Yeah, I'm going to
+5.
I'm going to have to take it. I know. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Take Nebraska as a home favorite on that. Georgia Tech. Any chance for the Rambling Wreck?
Come on.
Nah. Can't go to between the hedges and shock the world.
Be an unbelievable story.
Georgia's 1-4 ATS at home this year. They're 2-6 against the SEC. 3-8 overall. Georgia ATS wise. Georgia Tech is 5-5-1. They're 2-4. They've won 2 games in a row. They beat NC State and Miami both at home, but on the road, their last road win was against North Carolina back on the 12th of October. That's asking a lot.
I'd love to see Georgia Tech give them a game. How are they going to score? That's an ugly. I think that's an under. And I think Georgia, I think it gives it to them pretty good. It's one of those like 35-10, 38-10 jobs.
This game doesn't matter for Boise State with the playoff, but it is interesting they're playing Oregon State.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? Because it's not a conference game.
Doesn't matter. It's not a conference game, so they can still win the Mountain West Conference and get in. But then they also could lose this game and have it be negative on them from a at-large perspective, from a numbers perspective. Right. Tulane could pass them. If Tulane wins their conference, Tulane could get in. So they need to win the game, but they don't need to kill Oregon State. They're laying 20.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Big number.
That is a big number, but they're going to be fine.
Oregon State has not been good.
No,
they've been really bad this year.
No.
And
Boise's got to win. You're frozen. That's all right. You'll be back in a second. Boise has to win for style points. They can't. I mean, you don't want them risking their strength of schedule argument and all this other stuff to go and lay an egg.
Whoa, Carolina just fired Mac Brown.
Wow.
That just happened? Wow, they fired him. Huh. Because they asked him yesterday, would you retire? And he said, no, I plan on coming back. So I think they probably heard him say he's coming back and then go, okay, we're firing you.
I wonder if they called him like they did at Penn State with Jopa.
And said, your
they
choice?
Called Jopa on the phone. No, they called him on the phone and said, you're fired.
Oh, well, Mac Brown doesn't have a legacy at North Carolina that Jopa had at Penn State.
No, I know, but when you can't get rid of the old guy, they got to fire you.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They gave him a chance to walk. They did. I mean, at least in the media, the media gave him a chance. I mean, that may have been a planted question from the media, but after they got shellacked last week and looked completely lackluster, that it was, hey, would you walk? And he said, nope, I fully plan on coming back. So then, okay. We're firing you then. Thanks, Mac. Appreciate it. We're moving on. Huh. How about that? Interesting there. I think
back to multiple times in my life where I was working somewhere and they were like, you should explore other opportunities. I'm like, why? I like working here. What are you saying? Well, you do a lot. You should get paid more. You get this and that. Like making my case for me
to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it.
Yeah. It's the gun, but it's the old walk into the room and you're Joe Pesci and you get the shot in the back of the head. Goodbye. You're taken out when you think you're walking into a party. And then one more on Friday. Okie State at number 23, Colorado. How do they bounce back after their loss to Kansas? Or do they bounce back?
Wow. I mean, Oklahoma State can't stop nothing.
They're 3-8 ATS. Colorado's
this is the Travis Hunter show.
Probably so. This is the pad the stat game. I would agree with you on that.
Right? Yeah. Somebody's getting healthy.
Okie State is 1-7 against the number so far this year. 7-1 Colorado against the Big 12.
Yeah, this is Colorado writing their own score.
Yeah, I would agree.
This is Travis 3 touchdowns and 100 and something yards, and let's make sure that everybody knows who's winning the Heisman after today.
Yeah. This is a route to Saturday where we have the game, Michigan, Ohio State. It's 21.
This is still called the game when the line is this much,
right?
I mean, what the hell is this? I thought this was a mistake. Are they going to crush them?
That's a projection. How many points? Look at the number, 43 from a total perspective. Michigan's not scoring. They score more than 6 points. I'd be surprised.
No, they get 13, right?
What, 30 to 13?
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah. I don't want to say it looks very similar to the Indiana game.
Oh, I think you're right. I think
very
it's
similar to the Indiana game.
What's it been? 5 years since Michigan lost to Ohio State? 4 years? 5 years? Harbaugh owned. I mean, Ryan Day almost lost his job because of Jim Harbaugh. And then Jim Harbaugh cheated and ran to the NFL. And so then he went to the Chargers to get away from the NCAA and their sanctions. And now you've got, a much different coaching staff with a much different quarterback. I think that's right. Whoever said Michigan might get shut out, I think that's right. Yeah, I would agree. Days out for blood. I would totally agree. I think Ryan Day annihilates
35 to 10, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I think it might be 35 to 3. Like it's this is ugly.
Something like that. Yeah, this is one. The hype is going to be very, very real.
2019 was the last time that Ohio State beat Michigan. Their fans are going to be bloodthirsty.
Oh, baby.
They want
Thank
ass.
you, Bomber.
Yeah,
That's
they want
ass.
ass. They're going out. They want to take a piece of Michigan and they want to hurt them.
Yeah.
A lot of pent up stuff's coming in. A lot of pent up stuff is it's going to be a tough deal.
Pent up stuff is coming in.
This is going to be a
pause right there.
Yes.
We don't even need to pause.
No.
Nope.
Intentional pun.
Pent up stuff coming in. You said it.
Intentional pun. Look out, Michigan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's coming? I'm sorry for all of you guys that it's gonna be ugly. Texas A&M.
Oh, I can't.
How about the highlight for the last time Texas beat Texas A&M? It was Justin Tucker, game-winning kick. Last time they played, kicker for Texas. Isn't that crazy?
What year was that?
2011.
It's the last time Texas won at Texas A&M.
Last time they played. Remember, A&M in 12 left to the SEC in 2012.
Oh.
They haven't played this game in forever. This used to be the game. This used to be every Thanksgiving.
2011 is the last time they played?
Yep.
I am so old. That feels like yesterday.
Right. And
2011,
A&M left the Big 12 and went to the SEC, and now Texas is an SEC team, and this game is back. And this game is a trap for Texas. This is danger.
Oh, man.
Texas has to win to make the SEC championship game.
2011 is such a blur for me. That was the year I took care of my dad and everything else. And oh, my gosh. That was so long ago.
But wasn't.
I mean, listen, everybody wants chaos. Go Texas A&M.
Right?
Just do it for the people.
Right? You want
Just
chaos,
please.
take down Texas because you'll get chaos.
Please.
100% you'll get chaos on that. Notre Dame is at USC. Irish better win.
If you like Notre Dame, you better know what's coming if they lose this game. That's all. I don't think they will. Listen, back in the day, I was one of the biggest Notre Dame haters ever. I mean, saw them come to Penn State and win when I was in college, and Ricky Waters and Jerome Bettis, and they were having fun, and they were telling everybody about it. And we were like, man, these guys are so annoying. And then Penn State beat them, and ever since then, I've been like to give people crap. I think Notre Dame can win this game. And I think they can win it and cover.
Yeah, they can. They're more talented. There's no debate. But if Lincoln Riley can spin one up here and take down the Irish, this is the rivalry game for USC. They hate Notre Dame. And if they can take down Notre Dame's chances of making the playoffs, oh, my God. Let's see.
Let's see. Where's that game? Where's it in the rotation? Oh, it's at the bottom. 437, 438. Let's see. Is it consensus? Oh, it's painted 7.5. There's not a person in the world off of that number.
8-2-1 Notre Dame ATS. USC is 7-4. USC is 5-0 at home ATS. Notre Dame is 5-0 on the road. Notre Dame has covered 6 straight games. USC has covered 2 straight games. 3 out of the last 4.
Give the people something to vote on.
This
real
is
quick.
an absolute no play. You cannot play this game.
Give them a poll real quick. 7.5. Notre Dame minus 7.5. USC plus 7.5. Who you got?
I can't bet it. This game's unbettable to me. I can make I can make a strong case for both sides. Strong case.
What's the case for USC?
They're 5-0 at home ATS.
They're going to outscore them enough,
including your team against your team.
No, they didn't cover the Penn State game.
Yeah, they did.
They did not.
Yes, they did too. Yes, they did. Yes, dude, absolutely against Penn State. They were 3.5-point dogs. Lost by 3.
Oh, that's right. It closed. Yeah, no, you're right. It closed 5. It opened 5. 5.5.
100% they covered that 3.5. Yeah. They lost by 3.
Yeah.
It's tough. How about Vandy? Vandy has been the darling of the SEC upset train. It's been one of the most topsy-turvy years ever in the SEC for dogs. Another double-digit number for Vanderbilt to cover at home. They did it to Bama. They've done it all year where they've just gone in as huge dogs and won the game outright. They were 23.5 point dogs to Bama, won the game outright. 12.5 point dogs to Kentucky, won the game outright. 8.5 point dogs to Auburn, won the game outright. Here they go. It's Tennessee.
This one makes the Saturday morning slate for sure.
Oh,
11?
yeah, it's 11 now.
11? What's the rub here? What am I missing? This
Because Tennessee needs it.
Yeah, I know, but like this is high, no?
Yeah. Are they driving it up to take the dog? They're driving it up, take the dog?
No, this opened 12. It's open higher.
Vandy's been dominant.
Oh, it didn't hit the places that opened it later. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Yeah, opened 11. Open 10.5. Oh no. Oh, what are they waiting for?
Stay away. Yeah.
That's a stay away.
This is a hard game to bet. It's a hard
dog.
That is the definition of an uncomfortable lay if you're taking Tennessee. And
yes, very uncomfortable.
That is extremely uncomfortable to jump in on that. We're going to skip ahead here.
Okay.
Alabama, Auburn. Iron Bowl. Bama. If Bama beats Auburn by 40, I'm not going to be surprised because they got to put a number up here to tell the committee that we are deserving.
I can't wait for them to go to some. I hope they go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Alabama. No one will play for them. That will be so bad.
That will be unbelievably hard to make the line and all this other stuff.
Opt-outs are going to be crazy.
Oh, man.
Every kid from Alabama is opting out.
Still just imagining a playoff without Alabama, and I don't know how it's going to go on. I don't.
It's going to be fine. It's going to happen. It's going to be fine for it to happen. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Let's skip ahead to the NFL here. Thursday.
Look at this, by the way. BVB Survivor update, still 10 of 63 left. No blood the last 2 weeks. 567 each if we all survive the final week.
Look at that. That's tremendous.
Make it to the end. How about that?
Wow. All right. That's a nice little take home for $25.
Alonde for putting that in there. Yeah, that was good.
No blood last week. Who's got what left? I want to know what teams or people have left.
Right. I wish we could see it, but we're locked out.
Yeah, we can't see that stuff. Can't see that bracket. That's amazing.
You gotta figure out how to see that. Go ahead, Skip. Go.
Thursday, Bears Lions.
Well, the Lions 2 for 2 last 2 weeks covering. New team, new offensive coordinator, or new whatever they're calling, and same result. Bears cover but don't win, right?
Boy, I don't know how I want to step in front of the Lions. This is a hard game to bet. This is a money line parlay game. This is just take the Lions.
Listen, we're on reason number 15 million. Why? I'm glad I'm not in a book. Thursday, you just go get your head kicked in.
Right.
It was like, listen, just take the bets. Just don't worry about it. We'll be fine, and we'll fix it on Friday and Saturday.
We'll make it back then.
Yeah. That's the way to books are. Who's coming in to bet the Bears? Nobody. You got to make the number extra high to do it. Who's coming in to bet the Giants after, Baker was doing this to everybody and, the team quit? I mean, they're a mess. They're an absolute mess. Can't get a bet on them. I mean, you heard Adam just talking about them. And then, I don't know, if it's going to be cold and if Florida team got to go play in the cold, There's which dog covers? That's my question back to you. You pick the dog that covers.
Giants.
Wow. I really thought you were going to say the Bears.
Giants. I think the Bears are a decent play, but I mean, everyone's saying the Cowboys always win on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys don't lose on Thanksgiving. They win on Thanksgiving.
Years and years, the Cowboys
win on Thanksgiving. The Lions always lose on Thanksgiving. Yes, the Lions always lose on Thanksgiving. That's true.
It was.
I don't know. I mean, I can't go against Dan Campbell right now. I mean, they're just killing people. The Bears can't get out of their own way. Like, they just can't get out of their own way. I watched the whole Bears game. I was on 3.5. I watched the whole thing. Number closed at 3 because everybody was taking the Bears. Line fell 3. Vikings by 3. I think the best bet of the day is this, taking the Packers over the Dolphins. That's the play.
See, like as the book guy, I go dog, favorite dog.
Dolphins are going to go to Green Bay.
Plus the points. Well, no, I know what the book's going to need. I know what the majority of people are going to bet.
Correct. But I think you just take your lumps on this. You just take it because the Packers, I don't believe, are going to lose to the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, I would say the sides I would go in with are the Bears, the Cowboys, and Miami. Because
wow, I can't do
that. Because I would have 3.5.
Okay, fine. 3.5, I might listen. 3, I'm not listening. 3 is a Packers play.
Right.
If it goes below 3, it's 2.5. It's 100% the Packers, but I don't think it's going to go below 3.
No.
But
I
can't.
No. Between now and Thursday, no chance.
Cool. Better to book it. All right, we're headed to the game here. 11 o'clock tip-off in an hour and 10 minutes. The Creighton Blue Jays. That game will be on either TBS
or no traffic.
TNT or TBS, one of the two, coming up with one of those two games for that. It is going to be a bad day for the Jays. I have gone to 2 Creighton basketball games in Las Vegas the last 2 years. They've lost them both. No Stephen Ashworth for the Creighton Blue Jays. I can't believe his number's only 3.5. Has it moved? I got 3.5 last night.
I was looking at the NFL. Hold on.
San Diego State plays very similarly to Nebraska. Very physical on the glass. And this team in San Diego State, the Aztecs, hung around with Gonzaga for a while. It is a fan hedge, but it's more than a fan hedge, CBW. It's actually, there's logic to take San Diego State today. It's 4.5 now. Wow, they're coming in on the Jays. Bounce back.
I was going to say I like the Jays.
Okay, I'm good with that. Jays win today. I'll be ecstatic. But Kalkbrenner looked awful in the last game, and he's going up against a couple of really physical kids from San Diego State that handled a 7-footer from Gonzaga. They handled that kid. They lost by 13.
I want to see them make threes. You talk about them making threes and all this other stuff.
Ashford, their best 3-point shooter's hurt. Ashford's not playing for
138 is the total.
Yeah, he's out indefinitely,
bro.
I've been wrong a million times with the Jays. I'm just telling you all the numbers. This is a San Diego State play. This is take San Diego State. Okay, I think they win the game outright. I think the Jays are going to lose today.
I say book it. Let's go Jays.
I hope right. Houston minus 3.5 today. I'm back on the Cougars. They're not losing to Alabama and Auburn in the same year. That can't happen.
It can't happen. What are you?
That can't happen. Can't happen. Houston wins today.
Give me the defensive team in a different venue.
Yeah, you're gonna beat up Alabama today.
Yeah.
First half Houston too. I like that play a lot. It wasn't available last night, but first half Houston, I like that a lot. And then Kansas tonight. I can't get the Duke game right, so bet Duke. I can't get this right. I'm taking KU. Give me the points.
When the guy tells you that, you can't say bet it. You say book it. It's very simple.
Yeah, I can't get this right. I think Duke is due to lay down. Their defense is the number 1 defense in the country, basically by every metric. It doesn't make any sense. Can't see it. KU wins tonight.
Okay.
But they cover 3.5. It's 4 now for Houston. Okay, so it's up to 4. Favorite thing about today is what?
2 things. 1, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. If we were doing a show tomorrow, I would have a longer favorite thing about today, but I'll have it next week and tie it up. I found a clip of us, multiple shows. The one I sent you last night, but I found another one up talking about November 30th and the different things.
Oh my!
It was really good. But really, my favorite thing about today is tonight we got little Kinsey Kendall, little Bostonian, Maddie, and the group. We're gonna have pizza at the pizza joint and hang out. This is our little pre-Thanksgiving dinner, all of us together. Friendsgiving, over pizza. Kids, it's going to be chaos, and it's going to go on after the Kansas and Duke game. So we'll plan for that around tonight. Hopefully we'll post a picture. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We got to go see a basketball game.
Absolutely. That's my favorite thing about today. I get to see Creighton basketball in person. I get to see Coach McDermott in person. Let's go, Jays. Let's get a W here today. Let's see if they can get a win.
Right.
Jays win by 2. Let's go, Creighton. Win by 2. And I get to my bet. Creighton wins, and we're all good. He's Dave. I am Matt. Happy Thanksgiving, Brigade.
Right.
Thank you for being here. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are off. We'll recap it all, and I mean a lot to recap on Monday of next week for the Bostonian versus the Book.